we will kick off this work and school week with two storms, one on the East Coast, a minimal disturbance with some snow in New York City for the rush hour Monday morning, and a bigger, more powerful storm on the West Coast, which will have implications in our weather from coast to coast this week. Thanks for watching us here at the Weather Channel. I'm Mike Seidel. Let's get you started now. We'll look back at Sunday's weather and start off with the snow, which fell in Detroit. The Motor City got some snow on Sunday. This is what it looked like during the afternoon. 3 inches on the ground. And not a whole lot of people out there enjoying it. I guess everybody stayed indoors and enjoyed the view from out the window. It wasn't that cold. Temperatures are right around 30. And watch the roadways in the morning for that slush freezing up. Here in San Francisco, the cable cars not deterred by rain and wind on Sunday. Another stormy day in the Bay Area and out through the East Bay Hills. 1 to 2 inches of rain have fallen over the weekend. Winds have been gusting as high as 30 miles an hour. And although you're getting a bit of a break now, there is more rain in the forecast for the next day or so. So like this lady, carry the umbrella, and hopefully yours works better than hers did. Let's deal with the two storms. We'll start off in the Northeast with this one, and then we'll deal with the bigger, more powerful system on the West Coast. Now, the one in the Northeast is minimal, but it will cause a nuisance and will give you some snowfall in the morning. Here's our Monday morning weather map as we get into later on today, and the snow still lingering around rush hour, but this is not going to be a major event, more of a nuisance. In fact, in the city, in New York City, in the boroughs, we don't expect any significant problems on the roadways. However, if you're traveling up through the Hudson Valley, up through Westchester County, up towards the Catskills on the Quickway, or over through the Poconos, expect storm totals between 6 and 10 inches, with an additional 1 to 3 between now and mid-morning Monday. That will all push out. By lunchtime, it will be just a memory. So there's your wet snowfall, generally north of Philadelphia, getting up towards Allentown, up towards Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, then over towards northwest Jersey and into Hartford, Connecticut. That pretty much wraps up the northeastern system. Again, a couple more inches of snow, but no serious problems along the I-95 corridor, because it has been warm and temperatures even early Monday morning in some areas were just above freezing with the snow falling. Now we turn our attention to the west, and you can see the spin here. A lot of cold air cumulus clouds indicating instability, but very cold air aloft too, and a very strong jet stream coming in towards the Bay Area. This will combine to produce more wind, more rain, and more mountain snowfall. Great for skiing, not so good for driving. Of course, that's always the case, especially if you're trying to get up to the ski resorts around the Sierra Lake Tahoe area. Another 6 to 12 inches above 7,000 feet. More snow for the Wasatch Front. It's been a banner year, hasn't it, for skiing in the west? Hasn't been that great back east as far as getting the Rio enchilada, but at least it's been cold and they've been able to make some snow. But the snow will cause problems, especially traveling through the mountains of the west. Also a little bit of snow again, just recapping back in the northeast. As far as wind goes, we'll continue with that in the forecast. We've had quite a bit of wind over the past week or so in the western states. It's caused power outages, blown trees down over power lines in Washington and Oregon. We have more wind on the map, but we don't expect it to be as serious as it was late last week. Morning fog along the coast of Oregon, I should say of Florida, over towards Houston. No morning fog in Oregon, too much wind, and some fog in Southern California. Now let's get into the forecast and show you what's in store for the rest of the week. First things first, on Monday, we're dealing with a little bit of wet snow, a nuisance in the northeast. That pulls out very quickly and will be out of the way. Temperatures heading towards 40 in the afternoon in New York, so your trip home will be unaffected by anything other than maybe a few puddles. Then look at all the dry weather on the map Monday afternoon and warm weather. Wait till you see the high temperatures. This front, not a major weather player, but this one is. And all the wind energy and storminess will have an impact on our weather, as we'll show you coming up Tuesday through Friday. Snowfall recapping, light amounts northeast, heavier amounts the mountains of the west, as temperatures soar to the 70s and 80s. We'll have easily, guarantee you, we'll have more record high temperatures on Monday. Hi, it's looking like spring already. We had 70s and 80s on Sunday, more of that on Monday, more of that on Tuesday. That's right. Look at these high temperatures. Looks more like late March, early April than the middle of winter. And we'll ditto that on Wednesday. But by Wednesday and Thursday, we'll start to see some changes with the storm heading up through the lakes and the cold air wrapping in. Look what happens Thursday. Temperatures fall from the 60s back into the 40s in St. Louis and KC. Still warm just about the entire week for those of you heading towards the beaches of Florida. Don't forget that sun angle is climbing higher and higher into the sky now. You need the SPF. You need that sun protection to avoid the burn. Then on Friday, cool air into the Florida Panhandle, back to about 50 in Atlanta and in the 30s in Chicago. So something a little bit more typical of the season by the end of the week. Getting us there It'll stay warm and dry for most of the east and Midwest. Here comes the system, and that will produce the severe weather possibilities on Wednesday and Thursday. Look out around Dallas, Houston, Little Rock. Unfortunately, again, we may have some large hail, wind damage, and there's that possibility certainly of tornadoes with this particular system. East Coast dry and very mild on Wednesday. Then the stormy weather, the rain and wind heads towards the eastern seaboard, into New York, into Washington and Atlanta on Thursday with thunder. Very small area of snow. That's where it's just going to be cold enough for the snow to fall. Minneapolis will get some snow. Milwaukee probably, but more likely up towards Green Bay and over towards Marquette on the UP of Michigan. Then as we get into Friday, the storm lingers, but it will basically be a rain event for the northeast corridor because temperatures are just too warm for anything else. So quite an action-packed week. Enjoy the spring weather in the east and Midwest while we're there.